Torah guardian, speaking the absolute truth. Torah nation.
Shalom, 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 Yashar'el and Yahudah, grafted in Gentiles into the body of Hamashiach. We praise Yahuah for the witness, the Ruach Yahuah, the water and the blood. We say Todah, Todah, Todah Rabbah, Yahuah, for all that you have provided for us in this witness through Hamashiach Yahushua's redemptive work, renewing a covenant with a people and establishing a covenant with those who have never known. Abba, we praise you right now for an opportunity to share your word, your Torah, your Azzur of truth. Abba, we magnify your great name. I pray that you would take the reins of my lips and the reins of my tongue and rain from my belly. May the rivers of living water flow. Abba, you saved us. You delivered us. You have become a sanctuary in us. Abba, we praise you right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach in these lands of our captivity. You have brought Yeshua. Abba, we praise you. Abba, I pray for those that are under the sound of my voice. I pray that the word of Yahuah would take effect and quicken their bodies, quicken them in their minds. Abba would establish them. Abba Yahuah will bring them to a place in you in righteousness where they can avail themselves of this rebirth and this new birth. Abba Yahuah, I praise you, I praise you, I praise you. I take authority over everything that's not like you. Every evil Ruach, every perverse Ruach, every Ruach that would set itself up against the Torah, the Azzur of truth, the word of Yahuah from my mouth. Abba, I submit to you. I submit to your Ruach HaKodesh. Hasatah, demons and devils, you have no jurisdiction over this word, no jurisdiction over me. I am not under your dominion. I belong to you. Therefore, the words that I speak are spirit and life, because I yield myself, my members, as instruments to Yahuah's righteousness. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, Abba, I praise you, I magnify you, and I glorify you. Abba, let the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuah, my strength and my redeemer. Listening to none other than Hezekiah. The song is entitled Saved Me. I don't own the rights to this music. I praise Yahuah for the witness. I praise Yahuah for the witness, the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood. I magnify his great name. I magnify his great name. Listen. Right? We praise Yahuah for all that he is and all that he does in the midst of us. We glorify his great name, and in obedience to what Yahuah said to me, I am going to cry loud and spare not and lift up my voice like a trumpet until he says enough. Understand this, right? What I'm going to say is going to be controversial to some. It's going to be controversial to some. Those who have established men and women as idols have been led to believe that they have performed something that has been monumental. Right. That has elevated them to a place where they are to be recognized by virtue of their service. Right. Make no mistake about it. Right. We are in the lands of our captivity. And had not Yahuah declared by a Torah that he would be a sanctuary amongst us in our captivities, we would have no hope. That sanctuary is a direct result of an intimate relationship with him based on repentance, based on turning, and based on receiving the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. Has nothing to do with the pursuit of acquiring rights so that we could be like them. I told you this is going to be controversial, but you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say what Yahuah told me to do. I'm going to say what he tell me to say. I'm going to do what he tell me to do. Yahuah being a sanctuary, a place of refuge. And I ain't talking about a church. I ain't talking about a building. I ain't talking about a structure. I'm talking about a rebirth, a quickening that he has done in you by putting his presence in you. Sanctuary. Civil rights. There's no such thing. See, I know y'all won't get mad at this. Some of y'all gonna just like, oh, how can you say such a thing? You know, look what we have achieved, huh? Every achievement that has been identified, right, by the establishment of these Freemasons that run and govern what occurs in this nation, right, have been toppled. Every attempt to build cities, every attempt to build the structures that are similar to theirs in this land of our captivities have been destroyed. We've been spending years hollering no justice, no peace, no peace, no justice. As if it's somehow going to change the judgment that Yahuah has put upon the nation. But yet, he's still going to be a sanctuary. A place where he visits. A place where he can dwell, manifest a presence. A measure of his righteous presence. Sanctuary. There's no sanctuary in the United States of America. There's no sanctuary in the United States of America. There's no place that you can physically retreat to be in a sanctuary, a place of protection, in a place that has been decreed judgment. The only other place that is in you is outside of this nation. This is controversial. You got Bruce thinking that, you can get some land here in the United States of America, the land of our captivity, and build refuges. Oh yeah, to escape what's coming in the earth, or coming to the United States. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If your intentions is to remain here and build here, right, in the lands of your captivity, right, this ain't your home. Oh, I'm part Native American. Okay, was here before everybody else was here. Oh, okay. Okay. This is the land of your captivity. This is the place where Yahuwah is going to provide a sanctuary in you. Not in this physical land. Civil rights movement. Most of which has been put forth by those that serve the same system that established this whole nation structure. Generations of black Masons that have sold into the idea of Freemasonry. Civil rights. An illusion. Because as long as you have a structure that is in place that is built on this ideology, right, of whiteness, right, not nations, right, but whiteness and superiority, right. Well, that's all right. The United States of America wasn't built for you to have rights. You weren't included in We the People. Some of y'all want to cling to these Freemason boule. That will sell you out just like Herod and the rest of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the political leaders and structures of the time of Mashiach were willing to sell out their people. Freemason. Well, you know, they say Martin Luther King was a Freemason. Oh, but no, he wasn't really a Freemason, because you can't be a Freemason by being appointed one at your death. He comes from a legacy of Freemasons. His grandfather was a Freemason. His father was a Freemason. What makes you think that he isn't a Freemason? Billy Graham became close friends with Martin Luther King, kind of like, undergirded him. Well, he was a 30-something degree Mason. I have a dream. One day, little black boys and little white boys, black girls and white girls will be equal. They'll be able to attend the same dream. Jason, I'm going to tell you something, right? A deception. See, you gotta understand, these nations gotta move things along. This wickedness has to continue to move forward perpetually. He fought against Jim Crow. Fought against Jim Crow, right? But they converted it into mass incarceration. He fought against the KKK. They just put on suits and jackets. Came into corporations and political positions. Right? Gave up the sheep. They redlined you and let you move into their neighborhoods. Civil rights. Yahuwah has always told us as a people, don't be like them. Don't serve their else. Yahuwah gave us an order of dress and conduct. Don't be like them. Don't do what they do. But yet our goal is to be just like them. We don't say it, but that's, our women are just wants to be like them. They have allowed themselves to morph. The men have allowed themselves to morph, leaving the heritage and the culture that was stripped from them, and assuming the wickedness and the diabolicalness of these other nations. Let's look at Torah. Let's look at Torah. Right? Yahuwah didn't promise us civil rights. In the lands of our captivity. He promised us a sanctuary. Ezekiel, the 11th chapter. I asked the Most High, because, every day I ask the Most High to give me a word. Give me a word, I asked him last night, you need a word for tomorrow. Need a word for tomorrow. Right? Said, tell me ain't no civil rights. Okay, Yahuah, but I'm gonna say you. I'm gonna say your word. I'm gonna tell your word. I'm gonna declare your word. She told me ain't no civil rights. Ezekiel, the 11th chapter, beginning at the first verse. Moreover, the Ruach Yahuah. This is Ezekiel, right? Prophet Ezekiel. In the Ruach, brought up into the presence of Yahuwah and the Shamayim. Right? He says here, moreover, the Spirit lifted me up, the Ruach Yahuah lifted me up and brought me into the east gate of Yahuwah's house. Right? Which looketh eastward, and behold, at the door of the gate 25 men. Right? Among whom I saw Yazaniah, the son of Azzur, and Pelatyahu, the son of Benayahu, princes of the people. Boule. The boule of the people. People that say, I got a dream. The man was surrounded by Freemasons. Some of y'all got pastors that are Freemasons, devils. How can you be a part of a demonic order and say you serving Yahuwah? Some of you ain't gonna like this either. Y'all done sold yourselves at the altar of these Greek gods, these omegas, these kappas, these deltas. Divine 9. Do you hear this? Him who has an ear to hear, let him hear. Divine 9? Whose El are you serving? Because you're not serving Yahuah. Yahuah says, I am Yahuah, your Elohiym, and I will have none other El before me. How are you serving a divine 9? How are you serving Freemasonry? But they know how to take from amongst the Yahudim. Pull out the brightest and smartest, right? Because Yahuah has endowed some of our people with crazy intelligence, right? Pull them out. Woo them. Give them money, give them status. But they got to come and bend the knee at the altar of Freemason. They got to bend their knee at the altar of Omega Psi Phi. They got to bend their knee at the altar of the Delta. They got to pledge to these divine elves. Because the Boule say it. There was a guy, the first black Freemason. He was mad because the white Freemasons, European Freemasons, didn't want to allow him in. He wanted to be like them, but they didn't want to be it. So he went all the way to England, I think, went to England, and got the chapter in England to grant him the right to establish a chapter in the United States of America, which is fine, because, the United States of America is founded in Freemasonry, right? They understood the value of having this race of people that was largely outpopulating the other races of people. If they could pull in their brightest and best under this umbrella of Freemasonry to keep the order, right? To keep the people under control. Yeah, so let that nigga go back to the United States of America, and we'll bring him in. Surrounded. Martin Luther King surrounded by Freemasons. His grandfather was a Freemason. His father was a Freemason. You trying to tell me he wasn't? And everybody that was connected to him and influenced him in the African American community were Boule. They were Freemasons. Billy Graham, that's my boy. Y'all better wake up. This is the land of our captivity. Under a strong delusion. There ain't no civil rights. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief. That give wicked counsel to the city. They want you to move in an obedient, subservient way, yielding everything you have under their control so that they can be the elite. They can maintain the status. but you suffer. You pick it. No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice. All the time they're taking your children. All the time they're kidnapping your babies. All the time they taking your people. Now that's not to say that they're not taking other people, but we're talking about Yashar'el right now. We're talking about an assault on the nation. Right? Not by just the structure, but by those that are of Yahudim that has bought into the wicked, diabolical structures, schemes of these wicked nations, this United States of America. And again, everybody in the United States ain't snakes, but you know, the snakes are the snakes. See, and y'all who have been tricked in believing that this great nation, this nation is so great, right? Because we are the most powerful nation, right? Of which we were sold into captivity, of which we built this city, this nation, right? And then this nation has done what? What it has been designed to do. To house, to be a land of captivity. He says, son of man, these are the men that devise mischief. Boule fornicators. Adulterers. Sodomites. Molesters. Have risen to prominence, power, been allowed to continue to do what they do because they support the interest of this nation full of leaders that are snakes. There ain't no civil rights. There has never been civil rights, neither will there ever be civil rights in this land of your captivity. You weren't brought here to be a people that was equal to have civil rights. Am I mad at it? When I lose my perspective. Because see, I know that he's still a sanctuary in the land of my captivity. Let me go. Would say it is not near. Let us build houses in cities. Let's build houses. This city is the cauldron, and we be the flesh. Let's be in the city, man. Right? Therefore, prophesy against them. Them devils know. You know, the civil rights. Martin Luther King didn't advance nothing. What's this advancement for colored people? What advances do we have? We equals. Listen, we are a people called by the name of Yahuah. We superior. If we have this Ruach Yahuah in us. Listen, if you have Yahuah's Ruach Yahuah in you, then you are superior. Doesn't matter whether or not you're just Yahudim or the other nations. If you've received Yahuwah's Ruach Yahuah on the inside of you, his spirit, guess what? You greater, you better. Right? Not for the purpose of exalting your flesh, but by virtue of him being in you. You've been translated from the kingdom of darkness to a kingdom of his dear son. You've been born again, the water and the Ruach Yahuah. You have left natural and become super. You're no longer natural, you're supernatural. If Hamashiach, right, through this witness dwells in you. Because he that raised Hamashiach from the dead will quicken, give life to. Your mortal bodies will be a sanctuary. He said, therefore, prophesy against them. Prophesy, O son of man. And the spirit of Yahuwah fell upon me, and said unto me, speak, thus saith Yahuwah. Thus have ye said, O house of Yashar'el. For I know the things that come into your mind, every one of you. Yeah. See, who would know things that's coming into mind? Michael. I'm trying to change his name to Martin Luther. What does that take? Boy was born with the name Michael. Change his name to Martin Luther. What does that take? Luther was a recognized man. Has a history of leadership. You can buy me Freemason. He is our leader. He is the one that we look at. We got a day named after him. He was an ain't so right. It's an illusion. Thus saith Yahuwah. Thus have ye said, O house of Yashar'el, for I know the things that come unto your minds, every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in the city. They have led to the destruction of the nation. And they have caused things to continue as they do, with the loss of Yahudim. So what you saying? What I'm saying is they play a whole role in the perpetual slavery that our people have. The perpetual captivities. Come on, man. They play a role in trafficking. They play a role in keeping our people under the bondage of darkness. Keeping their eyes wide shut. We're going to march. We're going to march. We're going to rally. Not one march, not one rally has changed anything. But that's what they do. They still want the blood in the streets. As long as it ain't their blood. He says, you have multiplied your slain in the cities, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Thus saith Yahuwah, your Elohiym. Your slain whom ye have laid in the midst of it, and all They are the flesh, and the city is a cauldron, but I will bring you forth out of the midst of them. Yahuah is going to bring us out. Listen. Ye have, he says, midst of it, ye have feared the sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, saith Yahuah. You princes, you wicked, you boule. I'm going to bring a sword. He said, ye have feared the sword. You fear what they do to you. But you're going to play the role. Right? You fear what they do to you. You're going to play the role. Right? You have feared the sword, and I will bring a sword upon you, saith Yahuah. You watch the people get slain in the streets. The princes of the people. Right? You watch the people get slain. The princes of the people. Slaying your own. Watch them get slain. Right. He said here. I will bring you out of the midst thereof and deliver you into the hands of strangers and will execute judgment upon you. You're going to get judged. You're going to get judged. You're going to get judged. The judgment's got to come to you. You're going to get judged. You serve their interest, but you're going to be judged. Hear the word of Yahuah. You shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in your borders, O Yashar'el, and ye shall know that I am Yahuah. Now, listen, this is a judgment to the nation and its leaders. But it's a judgment to these that sell out to the nation. They sell out. They ain't moving in your interest. They ain't trying to create no civil rights. There's no such thing in the land of your captivity. Look, if you've been to the mountaintop, you would understand what it meant. You've been to the mountaintop. You really know what that means. If you recalling the events of Moshe, you really know what that meant. It's not just a tagline. Something that is said that stirs our people. Yeah, I'm at the mountaintop. Yeah, word has already come forth. You know, you will be judged. He knew he was going to be judged. You ain't gonna like this. He said, this city shall not be your cauldron. Right? Neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof. Right? But I will be the flesh thereof. But I will judge you in the borders of Yashar'el, and ye shall know that I am Yahuah, for ye have not walked in my statutes. Yeah. Again, you understand scriptures that are like, prophetic. Right? Things that carry over. Because, you know, what does things run Salinica? Anyway, things continue to run over themselves, repeat themselves. Events, actions, because of people continue to do the same thing over again. But have done after the manner of the heathens that are round about you. And ye shall know that I am Yahuah. Right? You shall know that I am Yahuah, and ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments. You were dogs that didn't bark. You were boule. You would rather serve Freemasonry and the order. You rather identify as Omega Psi. Bow your knees at the Greek gods, as opposed to serving the living Yahuah. Right? He said, neither executed my judgment. You didn't do what was right by me as leaders, as elders amongst your people in these lands, your captivity, in Jerusalem. You didn't do it, right? But have done after the manner of the heathens. Done after the manner of the heathens. I gotta go all the way to Europe to get our parts so that we can be identified as Freemasons. My grandfather was a Freemason. My father was a Freemason. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. You know, it was said that at his funeral, they had made him an honorary Freemason. They didn't make him an honorary Freemason. They were just fulfilling the code of Freemasonry. They wanted it to be known that he was a Freemason. Right? And you had people protesting. In fact, how can you make somebody that was dead a Mason? But listen, he was a Mason before he was dead. They just put that seal on him because that's the level he was at. Yeah, y'all better understand what's happening, man. Y'all better see the... Listen, you better see it. Ain't no civil rights. Just no civil rights. Right. Hasatan has changed up his tactics. Changed up his tactics. He's still killing us. He's still hanging us. Right? We're still disappearing. And it came to pass when I had prophesied that Pelatyahu, the son of Benayahu, died. Hear the word of Yahuah. Excuse me. Hear the word of Yahuah. Let his word go forth. Let his word go forth and know that judgment is coming. Repent. Judgment is here. Repent. Right? He says here, now. And again the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred in the house of Yashar'el, holy, are they holy are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, get you far from Yahuah, unto us in the land given in possession, right? Therefore say, thus saith Adonai Yahuah, although I have cast them far off from among the heathen, far off among the heathen, not from, but among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, right? Yet will I be a little sanctuary in the country where they shall come. The sanctuary. Yah prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Listen. Yahuah ain't putting his spirit in a church. He ain't putting his spirit in a building, in a structure. Right? The sanctuary of which he's going to house is you in the lands of your captivity. That's why you can be in the lands of your captivity and you still be blessed of him, because you have his Ruach on the inside of you that has positioned you for favor. For him to be a sanctuary. Right? Not for you to be a rich and wealthy individual. Right? Because you got to do some things in order to get to that level. Got to do some things in order to get to that level of wealth. Something you got to sell out. Somebody you got to sacrifice. Something you got to give up. I just don't throw wealth at you like that. You gotta pay. You gotta pay the piper. You gotta give up something. Right. But Yahuah is gonna be a sanctuary. Right. Yahuah is a sanctuary. Ephesians 1:12, that you should be to the praise of his glory. Right? You should be to the praise of his glory. No matter of fact, let me start up. Let me just go ahead and start the first verse. Shaul, an apostle of Hamashiach Yahushua by the will of Adonai, to the saints that are at Ephesus, the Kodashim at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahushua. Grace be to you and peace from Abba, Adonai, and Adonai Yahushua Hamashiach. Blessed be the Abba, blessed be the Yahuah and Abba of our Adonai Yahushua, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in the heavenly places. Sounds like a sanctuary in the lands of your captivity. Who has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in the heavenly places in Hamashiach. Right? According, he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. See, listen, you're on this witness. You've received it because he's chosen you to receive it. He's chosen you to be watchers, watchmen. Right? He's chosen you to be guardians. He's chosen you to be a demonstration of the keeping of his Torah. He's chosen you to produce fruit. He has made you his sanctuary. Okay. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be Kodesh. You should be Kodesh. And without blame before him in love. Obedience. Because Yahuwah's love language is obedience. Right? Yahuwah shows mercies unto thousands of them that love him by keeping his commandments. Your demonstration of love for you is keeping his commandments. If you can't keep Yahuwah's commandments, you don't love him. Stop playing yourself. You don't love Yahuwah if you don't obey his commandments. If you think you can do and say and act in your kind of way and say that, you born again, you full of hell. Yeah, you are full of the Hasatan's sin nature. Hell. You are full of Hasatan's sin nature. You're destined for hell. Right? Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children. We sons. We've been adopted. Right? Adoption is children through Hamashiach Yahusha to himself, according to the goodwill of his pleasure. So you mean that he's going to do something in me because it's going to bring him pleasure. He's going to give me another opportunity to serve him because it's going to bring him pleasure. He says, having predestined us according to his will to be adoption of children by Hamashiach Yahusha to himself according to his good pleasure, to the praise of his glory, of his grace, wherein he hath made us acceptable. Yahusha Mashiach's witness makes us acceptable unto you. Right? In whom we have redemption. Redeemed us. Have redemption through his blood. Atonement. And the forgiveness of sins. Restoration. According to the riches of his grace. Sanctuary. 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 Therefore say, thus saith Yahuwah, Adonai, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be with them as a little sanctuary. Yet will I be within. Should have been, yet will I be to them a sanctuary. Okay? I'm going to be a sanctuary to them, right? Wherein he hath abounded towards us, right? Towards us, all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mysteries of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself. A sanctuary. through the new birth, through being born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? That in the dispensation of the fullness of time he may gather together all, that he may gather together in one all things in a Mashiach. He gonna gather all in a Mashiach. Right? Both which are in the heavens and the earth. So he's going to gather all that is in Hamashiach, whether in heaven or on the earth. If you ain't in Hamashiach, he ain't gathering you. That in the dispensation of the fullness of time he might gather together in one all things in a Mashiach. So the things that he's gathering that are in Hamashiach. Those that are in the other nations or in the countries that are scattered that are in Hamashiach, he's going to gather. Hear the word of Yahuah. Even in him. Right? Right? Now let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. A sanctuary. Let's get it. A sanctuary in whom we have obtained an inheritance. Right? Being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. Yahuwah's will, Yahuwah's counsel, predetermined your adoption, your Kodeshness, right? You being a part of his heritage, right? Right? You being a part of his heritage, according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after his own counsel, because this is what he wanted to do. I thank you every day. I thank you every day for being numbered amongst the Kodeshim. I thank you every day for putting in me his Ruach HaKodesh, because you have to understand what that means. There are no civil rights. There is only this. It's only this. He says, that we should be to the praise of his glory who first trusted. We trusted in Hamashiach Yahuah, and we're to the praise of his glory. He has become a sanctuary in us. Listen. In whom ye also trusted. Hamashiach Yahuah, right? After you heard the Torah of truth, right? The Basora of your Yeshua, the Basora, the word that you believe that pointed and led to your salvation, right? And once you heard that word and you received that word, right? And whom also that ye believe, your believing and receiving that word, you were sealed with the Ruach HaKodesh promise. You now became a sanctuary. In the lands of your captivity, you're a sanctuary. Not all Yashar'el is Yashar'el, and not all Yashar'el has experienced Yahuah being a sanctuary in them. They bowed down to other altars. They served other Elohims. Yahuwah's going to kill them. Just like he did the princes. It's like the princes led them. The bodies of the Yashar'el are all in the streets. In every massacre, the body of Yashar'el was in the streets, murdered, killed. You were sealed with the Ruach Yahuah promise, which is the earnest, which is the down payment, which he has given you, that sanctuary. He says, yet will I be to them a little, an earnest, a down payment of a sanctuary. Not the fullness of the sanctuary. Because in his house you can't hold, you can't retain, you can't hold or house the fullness of Yahuwah's Ruach Yahuah in you. Right? Well, you're gonna be a little sanctuary. It's gonna be enough to get the job done, but it's gonna be a little sanctuary. I'll be a little sanctuary in the countries wherein they shall come. I'm going to be the sanctuary in them. I'm going to be the provision in them. Because of me in them, I'm going to manifest what they need in them. Listen. Which is the earnest of the inheritance. Right? It's the earnest. It's the down payment. It's the little sanctuary. And to the redemption of the purchased possession, unto the praise of his glory. Wherefore I also, after I heard of your after I heard of your Amunah in Yahuwah, and all the Kodashim, right? All the Kodashim. I cease not to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers, right? Making mention of you in my prayers. That the that Yahuwah, our Adonai, the Yahuwah of our Adonai, Yahushua HaMashiach, the Abba of glory, may give unto you the Ruach HaKodesh of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. The Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach of Yahuwah, the Ruach of wisdom, the Ruach of understanding, the Ruach of counsel, the Ruach of might, the Ruach of knowledge and the fear of Yahuwah. Knowledge, how to proceed. Wisdom, how to proceed. Understanding, how to proceed. Knowledge, how to proceed. A sanctuary. Not a day off of work. A shalom. A rest. A Shabbat. A Shabbat. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see the creativity of our people. A lot of which was stolen. Achievements that we have made to advance this nation, stolen. Which lends to us being a people that are called by his name. You will put ruachs in our forefathers to be able to devise and to make things by his ruach. people. To do things that he put in us by a Ruach Yahuah, put into our forefathers. It was passed down, not necessarily the Ruach, but the original skills. The eyes of your understanding be enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of your calling and what the riches of the glory of the inheritance are in the saints. I don't need to be like them. I got a hope of his calling. In the land of my captivity, I don't need to be like them. I have riches of the inheritance that is in me. I don't have to be like them. I don't have to desire what they desire. I don't have to desire what they desire. And the they are those that are of the dominion of Hasatan. In this case, the United States of America and those who govern it, which are Freemasons and that serve other elves. To be like them. Yahuah told us not to be like them. Desire not the ways of the heathen. Because I'm going to be a sanctuary in you. You ain't got to look for no civil rights. Look to me. I'll be a sanctuary in you. I'll be a sanctuary in you. Right? That your eyes understand to be enlightened, that you may know what the hope of your calling, what the riches of glory of the inheritance are in you, and what is the exceeding greatness of his power. To usward who believe according to the working of his mighty power, which he wrought when he raised Mashiach from the dead and set him at his own right hand. Power. Sanctuary. A little sanctuary. Earnest. A down payment. Which he wrought when he raised Mashiach from the dead and set his own at his own right hand in heavenly places, far above principalities and powers and mights and dominions and every name that is named, not only in this world but in that which is to come. And having put all things under his feet and gave him to be the head of all things, to the assembly, a tabernacle, a sanctuary in you. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Therefore, thus saith Adonai Yahuah, although I have casted them far off among the heathens, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them a little sanctuary. You will never rise to equality in this nation. You will never receive brothership. There's a such word as brothership in this nation of your captivity. Listen. If you have not noticed, it's the same drumbeat in the nations that we're scattered in. It's the same tune. Same struggles. Because Yahuah says he is going to be a sanctuary, a little sanctuary in you. He says, therefore thus saith Adonai Yahuah, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you were scattered, and I will give you the land of Yashar'el. Because this ain't your home. Right? This ain't my home. United States of America will never be my home. It will always be the land of my captivity. I recognize this. I understand this. Right? You know, even when they were in Babylon, they had freedom of mobility. Right? Right? But they were still persecuted. They could go about buying and selling, but they were still discriminated against. They were that people. Until Yahuah put it into the king's heart to let the people go. He just let them go. You know, they didn't even have to fight to get out. Just let them go. Hey, y'all free to go. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff, give you money, give you everything we stole out of there. Everything we stole from you, we're going to give it back to you. You know, the stuff out of the temple, the goblets, all that gold, all that, we giving it all back to you. Plus, we're going to give you stuff to start off with. We're going to give you plenty. Anybody that catch this word, make sure that this letter that I'm giving to these Yahudim, make sure you do everything in your power to comply. Everyone that works against them will be judged. Yeah. Just let them go. They can leave. They can go build a temple so that they can go worship you. He says, and they will come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence, and I will give them one heart, and I will put a new Ruach within them. Give them one heart. I will put a new Ruach in them. See that? If we've been born again in the water of Ruach Yahuah, we receive this witness. We become part of this new birth, right? But everybody in this new birth ain't in this new. Oh, yeah, everybody is in this haven't received the new birth. I will give them one heart, and I will put in them a new Ruach. I'm sorry, that's me now. That's me now. I'm going to be gathered home. I'm leaving here. I'm leaving here. Actually, I ain't leaving by myself. Oh yeah, I'm taking God. We leaving here. Right, we leaving here. It's the land of our captivity. There's nothing here but destruction. Right, yeah, you know, like, oh, you know, you leave here, wherever you gonna go, you gonna run into it. Okay, you ride that boat if you want to. Right? Right? You ride that boat if you want to. I'm gonna be out. We're gonna be out here on the next thing flying when you allow certain things to fall into place, which he's doing. We out because you know I don't have any ties or connections to this land of captivity that would cause me to believe that this is where I'm supposed to stay. None. Right? I don't know how long this season is, but none. We have a plan in place, but none. No, none. Man of Yah, woman of Yah. There's no such thing as civil rights. There are a people in the lands of their captivity. Right? Who Yahuah is going to put his Ruach HaKodesh in. Those that receive his witness. And he's going to be a sanctuary in them. Right? All of these boo ladies, princes of the people, these leaders of the people, they haven't done anything but lead or have led the way to our people dying in these cities. Dying in these prisons. Done anything. Hear the word of Yahuah. If you haven't, repent. Live a life of righteousness before Yahuah. Receive the Ruach Yahuah, the water and the blood. Be born again. I ain't talking about going into no denomination and going to some church and coming up before the pastor and having pray for you and be a part of the membership and receiving the right hand of fellowship so that you can keep him paid. But this ain't that. This ain't that. Man, if y'all want me, y'all hear the word of Yahuah. Right? Hear the word of Yahuah. I love my people. I love my people. I love Yashar'el. I love Yahuah. I love the other nations, those who are born again of the water Ruach Yahuah, who recognize this witness, that are born again. But they family. You know. Family. And deny them the right to be sons of Yahuah. When he's given them the right to be sons, they've received the witness. That's family. I praise you, O Lord. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, that's all I had. That's all I have for you today. See what Yahuah gives tomorrow. All praise to you, O Lord, for the witness, the Ruach Yahuah, the water and the blood. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called the greatness, woman of Yahuah, beautifully and wonderfully made. Listen, today Yahuah has favored you. I say it again, there's no civil rights. Right? There's only the land of your captivity, and there's only him being the sanctuary. And those who have received this witness, who have been born again of the water and Ruach Yahuah. Yeah, he's their sanctuary. So, with that I say, shalom, 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 and be blessed.
Torah Guardian, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.